Hi guys. So today we'll start these topics, right? So today we'll see how to install Docker on the Mac, on the Windows, Linux, and how we can basically, let's say I don't want to use on the Mac, on the Windows or Linux, right? I just want to run few test cases. So we can also use online Docker, right? So I'll show you how to basically create an account on the online Docker services and how we can use it. Okay. And then finally, we will load a Docker. We will basically run a Docker. Okay. And these things we'll see. So first of all, let's start with the Mac installation. So we'll see initially how we can install the Docker on the CLI, and then we will see how we can use Docker Desktop. So first of all, we will start with Docker CLI. Okay, so these are the few steps we do have that we have to follow. Okay, and then once we follow these steps, we can install Docker CLI. That's the very first thing that we can do. After that, we will see how we can use Docker Desktop. It means without having the CLI, we can have a Docker Desktop version running, right? And then we can use for the services, Docker services basically. So let's start with the Docker CLI. Okay, so first of all, we have to run this command basically. Okay, and then we have to install the Docker, and then we can see the version. So till this point, we can see the version running of the Docker, right? But then we have to install the Docker engine also. These are actually the containers we do have, right? So without this, if I'll run the command Docker PS or any other command to verify the Docker's containers, right? We do not see anything then. Okay, then we have to install Colima from Brew, right? And then we have to start that actually. And then once we do that, so till this point, we will be having the engine running, the Docker engine running. And then what we can do, we can verify the Dockers, we can run the Dockers, we can check the images, and so on we can do. So let us start with the Docker CLI. And then after this, we will uninstall this one definitely. And then we will see how we can install Docker Desktop. Okay. So let's start with the Docker CLI. Okay, so let's start from here. Okay, so initially we have to run the very basic command to install the Docker. Okay, so not this one. Yeah, enter. Let's put the password. Okay, enter. So initially this will just install these services. Okay, perfect. Now we have to install the Docker through the brew. So let's node brew install Docker. Done. Let's verify Docker version. Okay, so we have this Docker version running, perfect. But right now, you see the Docker daemon that is not yet running, right? So if I run Docker ps-a, so you see the same error we are getting. Now we need to install the Colima. So brew install Colima, enter. Brew. This brew, install it, perfect. Now we need to start it. Colima start. Perfect. Docker ps-a. Perfect. So this command basically, so we can directly run Docker ps. Okay, so to just verify how many Dockers we are running here. Why we are using hyphen A? Hyphen A is used basically in such cases. Let's say you want to verify all of your Dockers. The Dockers are in the running state, the Dockers are in the exited state, whatever Dockers are there. If you want to see that, you have to use the hyphen A. If you want to only see the running Dockers, we only run the command then Docker ps. Okay. We have few commands also Docker images. This command we run to just verify do we have any Docker images, right? So let's run a Docker. First of all, we need to basically have some image. So if I run the command Docker images, I do not see any single command here. Okay. So how to basically have our image ready here. So we have to basically pull the image. Docker run -d-p. So let's say port number 0000, port number 80, and httpd. Okay. First of all, it will verify, do I have this image locally present or not? As of now, we don't have any. So you see, unable to find the image locally. Now it is trying to pull from the library. Okay, so we have image ready over there, right? So you see what it is doing basically. It is pulling, first of all, the image. So Docker PS, Docker images. You see, now we have the image ready here, right? And then if I see Docker PS, enter, this instance is running. So right now, one instance with HTTP services are running. Now, first of all, here we are running a command, right? So what exactly that -d, what exactly -p is, and what are these port numbers? We will discuss in detail. Right now, the idea was just to install Dockers and how to run it. That's it. Okay. So maybe after these things, right, we will see the real use of this TP, what exactly these port numbers are, and what is the name of HTTPD, what exactly these are. We'll discuss everything. So this is how we install the Docker CLI on the Mac. Now next we will see how to install Docker Desktop. Okay, so on the Mac, we can install using CLI, we can install using Docker Desktop also. So we have a Docker Desktop version available. So let's start with the Docker Desktop. Okay, so we need to basically look for this Docker Desktop website, right? So we have to just go to www.docker.com. Let's go inside there. Okay, and then navigate. Here you will see download Docker Desktop, right? So right now we want to do for the Mac. So we will install the Mac. So right now the Mac we are using right now that has Apple Silicon chip, right? Let's click on this one. We have this image ready here. Let's wait. Okay, this is done. Now, how to do it? Okay, so here we have this Docker DMG, right? So let's double click on this one. Drag and drop. Very simple. The moment we install the Docker desktop, these are very simple. Just few steps and it will be up and running. Awesome. Now let's find out the Docker. Let's start this one. Open. Okay, skip. As of now, no container is running. Right. So let's check the images. So right now we have a single image that is NGINX image. Right. Let us run this. So from here also we can run this image. Right. This is images. Even on a CLI, if I run the command Docker images, I will get this image up and running. Right. So let's run it. So you see, these are very simple. The moment we start running these from the Docker desktop, we can even verify the logs and all. Right. Let's go to containers. Yeah. So you see, now this is up and running. Now if I go to CLI, I can verify Docker PS in command to just verify the Docker is running or not. Okay. So let's verify that. Docker images, first of all, I can see that image, exactly same image. Docker PS. And you see now that instance is running, right? So this is how we can basically start using these Dockers. So this is how we can install the Dockers on the Mac using CLI and using the GUI, basically Docker desktop. Okay, so now let's see how we can install Docker desktop on the Windows. This is exactly same, right? So next is Windows. So we can exactly same way we can install, right? So we have to just navigate to the same website, Docker Desktop, click here and choose your version of the application. If your Mac, if your system is running AMD, choose this one. Or if your Windows is running, let's say on the ARM, you can choose this one. And exactly, you need to just, you will have a exe file running. As of now, I do have the Mac, so I can't really show you how to install it, right? But yeah, the moment you install here, just execute your .exe file, follow a few steps, and then your Docker desktop will be up and running in the Windows also. So this is how you can install for the Windows also. Okay, and the same is available for the Linux, but on the Linux, we will see how to do it via the CLI, because the moment we use Linux, right, on the Linux, we mostly using CLI. So once you start working, you will start deploying these things, right? So mostly you'll be using Linux, and over top of that, you'll be installing the Dockers. Okay. Okay, so now let's start the installation of the Docker on the Linux. Okay, so we have a Linux machine ready that we will be using. So this is the Linux machine. So first of all, let us update this Linux. Okay, sudo apt-get and update. So basically, before installing any packages on the Linux side, we need to make sure the device is updated or the Linux is updated. Okay. Now we can start the installation. So what we need here, only a single service, that is docker.io. So let's do that. So we will install here apt-get install docker.io, apt-get install docker.io. Yes, install it. Okay. So let's verify Docker ps-a. Perfect. Docker version we can run. So perfect, awesome. So Docker images. So first of all, let's verify do we have images or not. So now as of now, we don't have any image, right? So exactly same HTTPD service we will install here. Docker. You can also pull Docker pull HTTPD. So it will just pull the Docker image. So in when we were doing on the line on the Mac on the CLI, it was basically first of all verifying do I have the image in the local service or running, right? But that time we were trying to run the Docker directly. This time what we are doing, first of all, we are trying to pull the HTTP image. So in future, like we will discuss why this pull. We have some push command also. We have n numbers of command, right? So right now what we are learning only, we are just learning how to enable or how to run the Dockers on these multiple platforms, right? And then further, when we will go inside the um, Dockers and all, we will see what exactly these are, at what point of time we use pull, at what point of time we use push, and few more things we'll see, right? So right now what we are doing, we're just trying to pull the image, Docker images. I can see the image here. Okay. Now, Docker ps-a. As of now, we do not have any Docker service running. So now let us run a service. Okay. Exactly same HTTPD service we will be running. So Docker run -d. So basically, when we say -d, is basically it will run in the background. Okay. -p basically for the port numbers 8800. These are the local port number that I'll be using. And the global port number is 80. It means from outside, if I'll try to access this Docker or these services, I'll be using port number 80. But inside, it will be using port number 8800. Right. And then what tag we have, that is HTTPD. Enter. And now this time it will find, you see, without any specific information, it is just running because the device is capable or is able to find out the image in the Docker images, right? Docker images, not images, Docker PS. And now we can see this HTTPD service is up and running. So this is how we can install Docker on the Linux also. Okay. Now next, we will see how to run the online Docker. It means, so basically without using Linux, without using these things, right? I can just use a browser and using a browser, I can do these things. Okay. So the very first thing, what we need to do, we need to go to hub.docker.com to basically create an account, right? And then we have to go to labs.playwithdocker.com to basically have an instance ready over there, and we can basically run these commands, all the Docker commands we can run over there. Okay. So let us start with the hub.docker.com. So basically do a sign up first of all. Okay. So let me quickly do a sign up in the background. Okay, perfect. So I have done a sign up and I'm inside this website, right? Now what next? Now, okay, you see, go to download these Docker desktops. So these things we can use basically. Now what we will do, we will basically use this labs.playwithdocker.com. This we'll be using to basically have the online instance ready, right? Let's do that. Labs.playwithdocker.com. Yes, go to login, Docker. Yes, accept it. It will basically check your same login credentials. Now, perfect. Now we can see here, start, right? You can start. So what will happen here? The service will basically allocate few resources to you and then you can use for some time. Let's start. So your session will start from here, right? So right now we can see this session is available for the 4 hours, right? Now, what we can do, we can basically install the new instance. We can have the new instance ready here. Click on the new instance. It will create the instance. Now, perfect. So you see here we have this instance. And if you want to do SSH also, you can do that through the CLI. Okay. So exactly same thing we'll do. Docker, pull, stdpd. First of all, we'll pull the image. This is how it will pull the image. And in future, we will see how we can pull our own image also. Okay. From GitHub. We will see how to set up the GitHub also. Docker run -d is used to basically run the Docker in the background, these services, right? -p for the ports. So let's say I want here 4 times 8 colon 80. Again, 4 times 8 basically is available, will be available in the local, and 80 is for the global. It means if someone from the outside will try to log into this Docker or will try to access these services, right? That will be using port number 80 space and your service, your image basically, whatever image you do have, and then it is running now. So Docker PS. So you see our Docker is running and our this information is running. Docker version also you can verify. We have this version running. Okay. And Docker logs also you can see Docker PS. So how we can verify the logs? Let's say Docker logs. You can put the container ID. So let's say EA. So you can just put the unique name, unique numbers. Okay. Let's say we have multiple Dockers and few Dockers are starting with EA, but the third digit or third word is What is different? Then we have to pick third one. So we have to pick a unique ID. Okay. No need to put the complete entire IDs here. Enter. And then it will show you those logs. If we have any error or any other things, right? So we can verify those things also here. So this is how we can run Docker online using this, right? And once you're done with this one, right, you can basically close your session. So it will free up the resources also. So let's say, let's close the connection. Now it will free up all those resources. So this is how we can basically, so what we have done, I'll quickly brief. So we have done installation on the Mac, on the CLI, and on the GUI also. And on the Windows also how to do that. So basically we can just go to the website and we can download it, right? On the Linux, how to do it? Very simple command, docker install, apt install docker.io that we can use to just install the Docker services. Online Docker, how we can use, and then finally the Docker run. So once you have the instance ready, that doesn't matter, you do have the instance ready on the Mac or on the Linux or on the Windows or maybe on the online, right? Once you have the Docker services up and running, what you can do, just run your Docker services, pull the images, run the images, do the changes, and n numbers of things you can do. Okay, so this is how we can install Dockers on multiple platforms, and this is how we can run it. And yeah, at last, this STDBD, what exactly this was? This is a daemon name. What exactly daemon we are trying to run here? And this name, it will pick from the images, right? Thank you guys. So this is how we can install these things. Bye. Take care.